The face war of the Backrooms. Yes, you heard it right. Partygoers and party poopers aren't the only entities decided to go against each other. There were more. And the fun war isn't the only war that happened in the Backrooms. There are more. And the face war is one among those. If you didn't know, now you know. This is my take on the face war. So, like every other war in the history of wars, this one too was messy, bloody, and scary. As you must have guessed by the name, this war happened among two of the entities of the Face family in the Backrooms, two of the famously known deadly entities, the Smilers and the Frowners. Both of them are powerful, unlike the partygoers and the party poopers, where only partygoers had the ultimate power. And there are a lot of questions to be answered, like how did the war start? Which party was responsible for it? Who won the war? Has any species again went extinct this time? Well, I'll answer all your questions in this video. So let's get into it. As you all know, Smilers are known to be one of the most hostile and very common entity in the Backrooms. They existed long before even humans explored the Backrooms. You can say they're one of the oldest entities inside the Backrooms. And as they're so fond of dark areas, they're seen in most of the levels, which are covered in darkness. They just love to chill there and scare the heck out of innocent wanderers. Yeah, they're very good at that. Their base is known to be the Smiling Room, and the majority of them reside in Level 2 and Level 3. Whereas the Frowners are among not very good, but not very bad either species, meaning they're kind of in between good and bad. They don't roam around with a hunting spree like Smilers do. They only attack if provoked. As long as you avoid provoking or perceiving them as a threat, Frowners are known to approach and greet you. Even they offer to take you to level Frown. Yes, there is a whole dedicated level only for themselves. It's a secret level. They keep it that way in order to avoid any invasion from Smilers. Smilers for sure are a very aggressive species. They don't mind their own business. In fact, they mind everyone's business except their own. And Frowners knew this. On that note, several accounts documented from wanderers indicate that when confronted by Smilers on the way to level Frown, Frowners will become provoked by means of their presence and ward off any Smiler attacks. Frowners and Smilers' rivalry is very old in the Backrooms, and that somehow led to the face war one day. I think Smilers are always looking for a war. They were just searching for a chance to get into level Frown, and they got it finally. The face war started when a Frowner broke ranks and turned a Smiler into a Frowner. Yes, Frowners have the ability to turn Smilers into one of their kind. The rest of the Frowners were not aware of this incident, and they somehow led the Smiler turned Frowner to level Frown. That's it. This exposed their location to Smilers and allowed Smilers to just go pour into the old level Frown. And that was the beginning of the face war. The bystanders of this war state that it was a very ugly war, and that makes sense considering both of these species are extremely hostile. Smilers and Frowners have almost the similar characteristics and power, so it's hard to beat each other in such scenario. However, Frowners still had an upper hand as they can claw out a Smiler and turn it into a Frowner. The transition from a Smiler to be a complete Frowner still takes time, but it was the only way for the Frowners to win the face war. As soon as Frowners started to turn them, Smilers had no other choice left except to leave level Frown. And that marked the victory of Frowners over Smilers in the event of the Face War. However, old level Frown was no longer viable in means of safety or to set up their base. Hence, Frowners had to move out and settle somewhere else. It's called the new level Frown, and it's still a secret, of course. Wondering what happened to old level Frown? Well, it was acquired by the Smilers, of course. So Smilers did get what they wanted without even winning the war. That's nice. Anyway, Frowners didn't get extinct, at least, like party poopers in the Fun War. So one good thing about the Face War. But after the war, Frowners claw out any Smiler they spot anywhere in the Backrooms and turn it into a Frowner as revenge for almost making them extinct. So this made Smilers and Frowners to be enemies forever. I think Smilers deserve that, because they were the ones who drew the first blood by breaking the Smiler-Frowner agreement. Otherwise, Frowners are, in general, a very friendly entity. Few wanderers have also stated that Frowners scare easily. If you make sudden moves in a one-on-one scenario, it will probably run away. If you make sudden moves or noises when surrounded by a small group of Frowners, they might kill or wound you. And if you startle a large group of Frowners, they will restrain you until you calm down. They're creatures that easily get scared. So if you avoid making these movements, Frowners, in which scenario encountered, would remain docile and may approach you calmly. They are, in general, a very friendly entity. Few theories also state that Frowners are some mutated and advanced version of Smilers, because Frowners came into existence after Smilers, and they share almost the same powers and characteristics, like they both reside in dark hallways, don't have a physical body, and only have glowing facial features. The only difference, however, is Smilers smile and Frowners frown. So the possibility of being some kind of advanced version is there. That being said, Rattlers could also fall into this category, as they too share similar characteristics. Just that they're like some 10 times deadlier than Smilers and Frowners, the strongest member in the Face family. The Fun War, one of the most interesting wars in the history of the Backrooms. A war that no one ever thought could take place one day. A war that changed the life of an entire species of the Backrooms. A war that left a scar for eternity inside the hearts of the party poopers. Party poopers, an entity which lived and served the humans inside the Backrooms in every possible ways. These creatures were willing to save human explorers. They used to be friends with their refugees and were very passive. But everything changed for party poopers on September 6th and 7th of 2020. Something very bad happened and wiped out the entire population of party poopers. The Fun War, an event that took place in Level 52. Level 52 was the home of the party poopers. It's the 53rd level of the Backrooms, and it's a 100-mile-high school hallway with classrooms on both sides. Among those classrooms, there was one classroom which was the base of the party poopers. You guessed it right, the boredom room. Party poopers used to live there. They never harmed anyone, not even the party goers who killed them. But I guess that wasn't enough for the party goers. They just somehow wanted a war to take place. Otherwise, there's no reason to attack the party poopers that day. But the party goers did it anyway. And this is not a one-day thing for party goers. They'd planned the Fun War long before the execution of it. Party goers are a very dangerous entity. They're manipulative and don't like anyone who says, I don't want to have a party, or who forgets their birthday. And on the other hand, party poopers are peace-loving creatures. They don't have any kind of party, and I guess that's why party goers attack them. Party poopers refused to celebrate their birthdays and didn't want to attend their parties. And looks like party goers were in no mood to take that peacefully. They're not the kind of creatures who would leave you easily. Hence, they planned to attack them. However, to kill the entire population of party poopers was not their initial plan. It just happened. But one thing was for sure, they were going to give a hard time to the party poopers. And luckily, party goers have the ability to no-clip into many different levels from level fun. They've been observed doing this to chase their prey. But these entrances and exits from level fun is only known to the party goers. This kind of ability is not there in the party poopers. And that's why party goers had the upper hand in the event of the Fun War. It was a very usual day in level 52, the day when the Fun War started. Party goers no-clipped to level 52, and they wanted to have their party. However, party poopers refused to be a part of them for very obvious reason. It's their home and not the party goers. So they decided to break the bond with the party goers. That doesn't mean they wanted a war. It simply meant they wanted to be left alone. But little did they know what the party goers are planning. They were just waiting for a head start, so that from outside, it looks like they didn't start the war. There was no choice left for the party poopers. They had to take action. They revolt on them to stop their parties. That's it. That's all the party goers were waiting for. They immediately attacked the party poopers. And not only that, they even had the human wanderers ready to help them in their evil plan. However, initially, the humans were not ready to join the war because everyone inside Backrooms are aware that party poopers are one among those very few who are helping the human explorers. And going against them would not be fair. But party goers always find a way to get what they want. They convince the explorers, claiming that explorers who will help them win will get to leave the Backrooms. Now, that's something luring for any wanderer who's been trapped inside the Backrooms for so long. It's an offer you can't refuse. Because of this, many explorers decided to get into level fun for a desire to leave the Backrooms. They were trained by the party goers inside level fun long before the Fun War. And poor party poopers had no idea about any of this. And finally the day comes. That night, the battle's begun. In one side, we had only the party poopers, and on the other side, we had party goers and human explorers. Both the party attacked each other. The only difference is, party goers had come prepared. Party poopers were far from prepared. They never might have thought, even in their wildest dreams, of what's going to happen on September 6th of 2020. So it was pretty clear from the beginning itself who's going to win. During the war, however, party poopers did get some help from the wanderers who were present at that time in level 52. The ones who were saved by the party poopers. They were very few in numbers compared to the party goers. The war continues. Party goers kept killing the party poopers, as many as they can. Party poopers were too weak to defend themselves. So many party poopers lost their lives that night, almost to the point where there were no more party poopers left to be killed. And the following morning, the party goers claimed that they won the Fun War. And only one human lost their life on their side during the war. The humans never left the Backrooms, contrary to what was promised by the party goers. I think that was coming, considering the nature of the partygoers. Come on, partygoers are no friends. Dumb are the humans who supported them. The war also brought few consequences to Level 52. The students, teachers, and the principal of Level 52 started to show signs of PTSD because of the violence they saw during the night of the battles. And that's how the fun war destroyed the lives of the partypoopers. It's pretty sad. However, the good news is some sources have confirmed few partypoopers managed to flee Level 52 and took shelter in the Promised Land. And not only that, they're even thriving there. Now, that's something I want to believe in. Hope it's true. What do you guys think? Comment below. And that's it for today. Let me know in the comment below which level you want to see next. See you in my next video. Till then, bye. The Skin War. Yes, it's finally here. And I'm 405, your host. Being in the Backrooms for so long, I can now tell you the things which no one knows. And take it from me, the Skin War, it's one of the ugliest wars among all the wars which have ever happened in the Backrooms. There was skin everywhere, blood everywhere, and flesh scattered on the floor. I mean, the scene was just horrific to even look at. It gives me chills just remembering it. First, the Fun War, then the Face War, and now the Skin War? I mean, what's happening? Looks like Backrooms is always full of wars. And as far as the Skin War is concerned, there's still a lot of questions to be answered. How did the war happen? Who started it? Which party won? Well, that's why I'm here. So without further ado, let's dive right into the Skin War. As you might have guessed by now, the Skin War happened between the Skin Stealers and the Skin Givers, two of the most deadliest entities of the Backrooms. And they are exactly the polar opposite to each other. While one steals the skin of the innocent wanderers, the other gives it back. However, none of them do it for any good reason though, because they both are equally dangerous and have infected hundreds of wanderers inside the Backrooms by eventually killing them. Skin Stealers are one of the oldest entities of the Backrooms, like Smilers, but I'm not sure how old Skin Givers are. Nevertheless, both of them were coexisting since so long. They both were hunting wanderers in their own territory, never bothered the other. While Skin Stealers are commonly found in the first 4 levels of the Backrooms, Skin Givers are confined to a very few levels. One among those is level 1, where they were first discovered, when a pile of dead skin was found being eaten by a group of female death moths. So this suggests Skin Givers are relatively less in number as compared to Skin Stealers. This has already given the Skin Stealers an upper hand if a war breaks out, and Skin Givers were always aware of it. They knew they're less in number, and the chance of them winning a war with Skin Stealers was always slim. And that's the reason they even allowed the Skin Stealers to steal their own skin, even being an entity. Anyway, this process was not harming either of the entities, so Skin Givers were okay with it. However, this didn't seem to help much when a war actually broke out. It was like any normal day for Skin Stealers and Skin Givers in the Backrooms. One injured Skin Stealer spotted a Skin Giver while it was roaming around in level 1. It approached the Skin Giver to steal the skin to heal its injury. Somehow that didn't go well. The reason is still unknown. but they ended up fighting each other. Since the skin stealer was already injured, the skin giver managed to win the fight, but in the process it killed the skin stealer. You can say it was an act of self-defense, but who's going to explain that to the horde of skin stealers who are coming after it now? And this is just the tip of the iceberg. The scared skin giver then ran around for its life, but it was slow. Skin givers can't run faster because of their gigantic body, so the skin stealers were able to catch it before it can flee. They pulled and pushed the skin giver with their microscopic bumps until they stole all of its skin. The helpless skin giver eventually died. Now this aggravated the situation, which led more and more skin givers to join the fight, because it's now a life and death situation. On the other side, the skin stealers were also increasing in their number. It was a tough fight though, because the skin givers were very less in number, and skin stealers were way more in number. It was never a fair fight from the beginning. Also, the skin stealers are known for their immense physical strength. They're even capable of ripping apart a skin giver in no time. So, in a scenario like this, skin givers stand no chance to win. The war eventually became more and more ugly. There were ripped skin and flesh everywhere, blood everywhere, and skin givers just kept getting slaughtered. This proves how powerful skin stealers are as an entity. You shouldn't mess with them in any circumstances, be you a wanderer or an entity. By the time skin givers realized this, it was already too late. Half of their population was already slaughtered. They knew they're gonna be extinct now, just like party poopers. But then happened a sudden change in skin stealers. They just stopped killing. It was almost towards the end where only a few skin givers were left to win the war. They spared their life. It was like someone switched off their killing button. The skin war lasted for 2 days in level 1. Nobody understood what just happened. Skin stealers could have easily won the fight by killing all the skin givers, but they didn't. They just left the scene and went back to their levels. It was really a strange behavior considering how hostile skin stealers are. Why would they have a sudden change of heart? This was the talk of the Backrooms for a few days after the war. It was an ugly war after all. There were dead skins and rotten flesh everywhere, lying for days after the war ended. Later, a few female death moths ate it and cleaned it. But everyone were still shocked. Slowly and gradually, the skin war became history too, like the fun war and the face war. So, here's my theory. I suspect maybe the skin stealers spared the lives of those few skin givers for their own good, because at the end of the day, they can make use of them by stealing their skin for healing their own injuries. So why to make them extinct for no reason when they can use them? What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.